Okay, in this video, I'm going to walk through on how to customize the navigation, alter the header to fit my brand. I'm using the Bootstrap theme. If you watched the previous video, you can use any theme and it works pretty much the same way, even if you import your own theme. Every single part of this website has these layers, as I mentioned. And so what we're trying to do is find the navigation layer, right? So if I click here, that's not necessarily the layer that I want to customize. I want to customize that black box right around there. So I have the div here, and then I want to go up just one more. Of course, I can use this here too to find what I'm looking for. Or you can click there, right? So now that I have my navigation selected, I can change out what I want here. I can change out to the light theme. There's different theme options here, or I can click on the style tab, click on background color, and say I want it to be that color. I can change that color however I want. In this case, I'm going to make mine just a simple light theme. So I'm going to get rid of that. I could have also done undo there instead of hitting refresh because I haven't saved it. So I'm going to find my nav. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to change the theme to light. And then I'm going to change the background to light. Now my background is light. And the reason why I'm doing this is because my logo that I'm going to add by just clicking on the image and then coming over here to upload new image. And this comes out to the file manager. Now you can watch the video on the file manager. There's a lot of cool things you can do with it. There's also an asset manager to load your images to. In this case, I already added my logo. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to hit choose. Now that's my logo. A lot of times I probably oversave. You never know what happened. Your internet connection can go down when you're working in the browser. So I like to save after every kind of major change, kind of collect my thoughts while I'm going through this instead of waiting to kind of configure everything and then something happens, right? So I save that. Next, I'm going to start altering the navigation links. So a few things. All you have to do is click on any link. And you'll see this over here where you can control what the URL is and the target if you want to open up into a new window. Our system is all relative path. So when you create a page, inside your page settings, you have a URL that you have access to that you can use, or you can rewrite that URL to something else. If you're not familiar with relative path / that's going to take you back to your home page. Replace the number symbol there and just the pound symbol and or the hash and put in the / for your home link. That's a good way of doing that. You can also put your domain in there, whatever you want to put in there. If you want to change the link, double click here and you can alter it. Say anything, right? You can type anything you want. In this case, I'm going to keep it home. I'm going to click on this link and I'm going to double click it. And I know I'm going to have an About Us page. So I'm going to put About Us. And while I'm doing that, I'm also going to, and by the way, if you're in there editing, just click out, click back in if you want to get this screen for the link. And so the default format, when you get used to our system, you can just remember how this works. When you name a page, it's always going to be lowercase. And if you have a space in it, it's always going to be a dash. Now you can control these links. You can go in and change it to whatever you want for your page. But in this case, I'm just going to use what I know the system is going to build out for me, which is About Us right here for the space and then the / right? So a dash there for the space. So I have that set. Now I'm going to change my drop down. So let's say you wanted to add another nav item here that's not a drop down. If you click here and hit clone, so this icon right here is for cloning. If I clone this, that messes everything up because it's actually cloning the wrong thing. So what I want to do is revert back. And let me just go ahead and close that so it's not in our way. I click back on here, right, which is the href or the A, right there on that layer. I want to go up a layer. So I'm going to go up a layer and now I'm going to clone. And so the concept here, just the understanding of how the system works. Remember I mentioned about the layers. If you're not on the right layer and you're not getting the result that you want, undo, go up a layer, then clone again and see inside the navigation if it's coming out the way you want. Depending on the theme, you may have 2 or 3 layers there that's controlling the nav. Some have mega menus, right? So there's a lot of little things there or a lot of little divs in there, little layers that you have to navigate through just to get the result that you want. And the freedom of being able to clone these and build out your navigation is the upside to it. But it's real simple. I mean, in that case, I only had to go up one layer to get the result I wanted. And I know on this theme, I only have to go up one layer to get what I need. So in this case, I could come in here and just say, let's say the blog. And so here on my navigation, on my drop down, same thing, right? So if I were to clone this by selecting, that's not going to be ideal. It's going to drop below. So I'm going to revert my change. I'm going to select this. I'm going to go up one layer. I'm going to clone it. Now I have two drop downs, right? So I, of course, don't want two drop downs in this example. I'm going to go ahead and delete that one. And I'm going to call this one, again, just double clicking in there. I'm going to call this services. Click out. Now I'm going to, same thing. I'm going to click on this link, double click. Call this remodeling. And I'm going to remove these. So I just delete. But let's say I want to add another one later on. If I clone it, I'm getting the result that I want. So I don't need to worry about going up a layer because this one worked just perfectly. That's the layer that I want. I'm going to get rid of that. Go ahead and click over here, add the link, remodeling. There we go. So I'm good to go there. And I'm going to change out, I'm just going to delete login, come up, sign up for free, and I'm going to change this. So you double click in here. I'm going to change this to free estimate. In buttons, any of the buttons that you select, you have different options, right? You can change your different color schemes that you have that are built in. You don't have to go in and change the background color. You know, they're already set. And of course, you can change the text color because it's using the styles that are built in from Bootstrap. In this case, I'm just going to keep it the same. You can apply a little shadow if you want. You can do a little shadow there, maybe a small shadow to kind of let it go. In addition to that, if you have different classes that you want to apply, it's a little more advanced to do that. And of course, your link that you want to link out to, and different options you have within here. So this is good. I'm going to go ahead and save. So depending on the theme, you may have a navigation that is designed only for mobile. So you only see it if you're on laptop or mobile version, right? And so in those cases, you would have to apply, and this one doesn't have it, right? So Bootstrap, doesn't matter what version you go to, it's all the same navigation. But in some themes, this navigation here may be controlled by a mobile only navigation. And what's cool about the system is any change you make in this view is only applied to this view as far as what you're seeing, right? So you may see a different navigation here when you're on a mobile. If you change this color here or change the navigation, this color would only apply to your mobile version. So if I were to come back over here to, let's say, the laptop version, and I want to change the background, of this navigation for the laptop version only, I can do that. Let me go ahead and save that. So my background is not the pink color, but if I were to come over here to my laptop version, it is. And if I come to my mobile version, it's not, right? So changes to your styles, colors, spacing, width of images, heights, it's all applied to the version that you're on. However, there are some things that show up on mobile that don't show up on desktop version, like your navigation. So if that's the case for this theme, I know the dark side theme does this. Just get in your mobile version and do the same thing that you did on the desktop version, which is configure your navigation. So as you go through, you create your navigation. Now go to your laptop version, which is likely, or your tablet version, sorry, is likely the same version as your desktop version. And then you go into your mobile and you notice that the navigation is different than what you configured. Just configure your navigation for that. Every single one of our sites create a global block for your navigation in your footer. And so when you create another page, and let's say you want to add another page to your navigation, once you make a save here, it's going to update every single page that has your navigation on it. So you only have to configure it once, and then when you make edits and changes, it'll update across the board for you. Yeah, so editing and controlling the navigation, again, this is the first step of creating, this site. And as we progress down, you'll start seeing all the different, ways that you can customize and make this work for your business.